Friendswood, Grace Blasingame here. Welcome to my channel. Today's episode of What's Up in the Sky for March 2022 is all about binoculars. Which one to pick to look at the night sky. There are so many choices and so many options. I'm here to help you decide which pair is right for you. First, I want you to know that I'm not being sponsored for this content. I am a former astronomy teacher, and I would teach my students how to select appropriate binoculars for nighttime viewing. So this is part of what I used to do day in and day out. So keeping that in mind, there's lots of different brands of binoculars on the market, and different brands have different models of binoculars. Some are better for terrestrial viewing, like going to a concert or bird watching or something like that, and then others are better for nighttime viewing. So I'm going to focus on the binoculars and how they benefit you to view at night. Try your hand using binoculars on March 6th to look at the planet Uranus. In the early evening, you should be able to find it through binoculars. It's going to be above the moon on March 6th. Try it out. As far as astronomy goes, looking at objects in the night sky, it's all about collecting enough light. It's not really about magnification. A lot of people think telescopes are all about magnification. They're not. They're about collecting enough light. So binoculars are a good option. They allow you to collect enough light, not only just to one eye, but to both eyes. We are humans. We have two eyes. The word binocular actually literally means two eyes. So they're a great choice. So let's talk about how you determine which pair is the best choice for astronomical viewing. So when you're buying a pair of binoculars, or you look at the binoculars you have at home, you want to look at the numbers that are on the side. 7 by 35, example. 7 by 50, example. Divide those two numbers. Divide 7 by 35. 35 by 7 gives you 5. So this pair of binoculars is going to give me what I call the magic number of 5. This pair of binoculars, the 7 by 50s, if I divide 50 by 7, the closest I'm going to get is 7. 7 times 7 is 49. So I get a number 7. So 7, 5. Which one's best for me? For me, it's the 5. Let me tell you why. The human eye can dilate to let light in. It's all about getting light, remember? So my eyes, being that I'm a more mature person, well, I'm chronologically mature, can dilate to about 5 millimeters. When I was younger, in my 20s, in my teens, and as a child, my eyes could dilate to a 7. As you grow older, your eyes lose the ability to dilate, to get as large, and to take in that much light. So for me, I use 7 by 35s. Anything that I can divide and I get a 5 because I'm not wasting any light. The 7 by 50s here, with this magic number of 7, gives me 2 millimeters of light that I can't use. They're much heavier than these. So the magnification is the same, 7 and 7. So I'm going to choose the 7 by 35s because they're a lot more lightweight, smaller, easier for me to manage. But maybe in my youth, maybe I would have gone with something like this to take advantage of the 7 millimeters dilation of my eye. So those are some things to think about. On March 7th, you can see Venus, Mars, and Saturn with the naked eye. However, if you use binoculars, you'll be able to easily see the colors of each of these planets. Venus will be very white, Saturn a lovely butterscotch color, and Mars a distinct red color. Use your binoculars and check it out before sunrise on March 7th. Other considerations for binoculars is all about optics. These two binoculars right here are identical in size and magnification, 7 by 35, 7 by 35. But they're not equal in the quality of the lenses. It's all about the optics. These are very good for going to concerts and bird watching, things like that. But for nighttime viewing, I need a lens that's got multi-coated coatings that actually enhance the amount of light that lens can let in. If you look at the lenses and try to look at the reflections of the lenses, for astronomy, you want to find a lens that's got the darkest color or reflection. These, if you look at them just right in the right amount of light, has a dark green color. Very good optics for nighttime viewing. These have a light purplish color. The purple's not bad, it's just the lighter the color tells you that it's got less coating. So the darker the reflection that you can see in the optics, the better for astronomy viewing. So take them, look at them with some reflection and see if you can see the color and how deep a dark color that is. The darker the color, the better the multi-coating is for nighttime viewing. Another thing to consider is on the eyepiece. There's a prism inside of binoculars, and I won't get into details, but there's two different types of prism. One will make a completely nice circle of light that exits the eyepiece. Your pupil is nice and circular. Circle matches circle, good. A lot of binoculars of the lower quality for astronomy viewing have the circle of light that's not a complete circle. It's chopped off on the edges, and if you look at the eyepieces very carefully, you can see a gray area. It's not a round, perfect circle of light, but it's more of a square or a rectangle amount of light. So even though you've got 5 millimeters calculation, you're not really getting 5 millimeters completely through that eyepiece to your eye. So take a look, and I'll try to put some graphics up for you so that you can see what I'm talking about on these two eyepieces and the difference to look for. Here's a graphic that shows you the difference between the two prisms. The BAK4 is the best, round circle of light, versus the BK7 that has this squared off image. It's not a complete circle. Take advantage of Orion still being visible in the night sky. Look below Orion's belt through binoculars and you can see the Orion Nebula very easily. Also, another good target is the Pleiades, which is going to be to the right of Orion. The Pleiades, known as the Seven Sisters, is a beautiful sight in binoculars. Check it out. Another consideration is size. And the reason for size, when I say size, I really mean the weight. So when you're looking at things in the night sky, you're going to be holding the binoculars normally just with your hands, and you're going to be looking up, which makes that get tiresome on your arms. So the bigger the pair, the heavier the pair, the harder that's going to be for any length. So if you go with a large pair of binoculars, a heavy pair of binoculars, then you are going to want to support that. Some binoculars have tripod adapters that you can use. There's all sorts of things you can do to help yourself steady, because you want to be as steady as you can when looking through the binoculars. Now, you don't want to go too light either. These are very, very small, light. They're almost like opera glasses to me, but they're just really too small in all aspects for good nighttime astronomy viewing. But they were very lightweight. And sometimes, you know, something like this to get the kids excited, the really young ones, can be good because they can handle it. They can actually hold it and they can look through it. So it might not be bad for the littles, something like that. So just think about the weight, another consideration. One last thing to consider with binoculars is how they feel. I'm a very tactile person. The way things feel to me is important. So it might not be as important to you. But for me, I like to have something that doesn't feel too slippery in my hands. A lot of times when you're out viewing things in the night sky, it's damp, there's a lot of moisture, and so the coating that the binocular has can start feeling slippery. So think about that and try when you're holding them, do they fit your hand comfortably? How ergonomic are they? Are they slippery? Do they feel like they'll be slippery when they get a little damp or a little moist? And choose something that it feels good in your hands, because you want to be comfortable when you're looking at the night sky. You don't want to be distracted with the way something's feeling in your hand. So another thing to think about is just touch them, feel them, which makes it hard if you're trying to buy something online. That's why I like the brick and mortar stores when you're trying to buy binoculars. Just another thing to think about. I hope I've given you some good information about choosing the right pair of binoculars for viewing the night sky. Really, you can't go wrong. Anything is better than nothing, in my opinion. So go out, look up, and enjoy the night sky for March 2022. Bye for now.